The function f is defined as follows. F of x is equal to 2x minus 3, x belonging to the set of real numbers. Find a, the inverse function of f, and then the composite of f and its inverse, and then the composite of its inverse and the original function. Okay, so to find the inverse function, so this is a one-to-one function, so therefore we can find the inverse. So what we do is we let y be equal to 2x minus 3, and then we rearrange this to make x the subject. So trying to make x the subject, so the obvious thing to do is to add 3 to both sides. So on this side we're going to get y plus 3, and on this side we'll just get 2x, because minus 3 plus 3 gives you nothing. And then we're going to have to, because we've got 2 here multiplied by 2, we have to divide both sides by 2. So we're going to get y plus 3 over 2 is equal to x. So we've now made x a subject. But to get the inverse function, you just rewrite that in terms of x. So the inverse function, which we write as f to the minus 1 of x, will be x plus 3 over 2, and its domain will also be all the real numbers, if you can put any number into it. Right, so now we do the composite of f and f to the minus 1. Okay, so we're going of x, so we do f of f to the minus 1 of x. That means first of all we do f to the minus 1, so we need to do f of the inverse function, so x minus 3 over 2. So everywhere there's an x in this, we now replace it with x plus 3 over 2. So we're going to get 2 times x plus 3 over 2, take away 3. Now the 2's will cancel out. So we're going to have x plus 3 minus 3, and therefore that will the plus 3 and the minus 3 cancels out, and funnily enough we end up with x belonging to the set of real numbers. If we did f to the minus 1 of x is equal to f to the minus 1 of f to the minus 1 of f of x is equal to f to the minus 1 of f of x. So first we do f of x and then the inverse to it. So we need to do f to the minus 1 of 2x minus 3. So we now do 2x minus 3, because this is x in the inverse. We add 3 and we divide by 2. So now we cancel out the minus 3 and the plus 3. So we end up with 2x over 2, which gives me just x, belonging to a set of all real numbers. So note that the composite of f to the f minus 1 is equal to the composite of f to the minus 1 times of f, and is equal to x. I'll just repeat that. The composite of f and f to the minus 1 of x is equal to the composite of f to the minus 1 of x and f is equal to x. So this gives us an interesting thing to look at the graph of an inverse function. So if we've got that function here, we've got that function, this is the function 2x minus 3. If we click here, we will see its inverse. So the red function here is the inverse function. And we can see what's happened here is that the inverse function is a reflection in the line y is equal to x. And there we have the actual value of the inverse function. Now with this applet, which I'll put in the notes of the video, I can change it to be different functions, as long as the function is 1 to 1. So let's take something like x cubed. Okay, so the green graph here is x cubed. Okay, just move it so you can see that, and therefore the inverse function is going to be the cube root of x. Okay, and you can see very clearly that it's been reflected in the line y is equal to x. So if you did f to the minus 1, the composite of f to the minus 1 of f of x, they cancel each other out and just end up with x. An interesting one is to do this one, which is e to the x. So this is the graph of y is equal to e to the x. Okay, this is its inverse function, and you might recognize that this is y is equal to ln of x. and this is y is equal to e to the x, and again you can get the graph by reflecting through y is equal to x. So if you have a graph of a function, remember it must be a function, then you will get its inverse by reflecting it in the line y is equal to x. If you take a many-to-one function, let's take a very simple one, x squared. So this is the graph of y, that's x squared. Okay, for the positive part, what is considered the positive part, it's reflected it to give you the square root of x, but it hasn't reflected this one here, okay, because this is not the inverse would not be a function because it would come down here and therefore would not fulfill the definition of a function with the vertical line test. Okay, so it only really works for one-to-one functions. Okay, so this has been a video. So you could find the inverse if you said that this was y is equal to x squared for x greater or equal to 0, and then this bit of the graph would not appear, and then therefore you would get an inverse. Okay, I hope you've understood. Like I said, this applet I'll put in the notes of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've understood.